The movie opens with Beckett and April, a madly in love married couple embarking on a dream vacation in Greece's breathtaking paradise. They spend their day lazily exploring the city, immersing themselves in its enchanting sights. As the sun sets, they venture towards a rented house, nestled far from their current location. Initially, they agreed to take turns driving, but fate had a different plan as April dozed off. Enter Beckett, taking charge of the wheel, but exhaustion takes its toll, and he too succumbs to the tempting call of sleep. Disaster strikes when the car careens off the road, hurtling over a treacherous cliff before crashing into an adjacent house. Against all odds, Beckett miraculously emerges with minor injuries and a few scratches, a testament to the life-saving powers of his trusty seatbelt.
Heartbreakingly, April doesn't make it through the accident. As Beckett awakens in a hospital bed, the devastating news of his wife's passing crashes upon him like a tidal wave. Soon, he finds himself at the police station, answering their probing questions. Desperate to ensure the safety of a child and woman he encountered at the house, Beckett pleads with the authorities to check on their well-being. To his bewilderment, the officer reveals that the house has been abandoned for years, making Beckett's claim seemingly impossible. Ignoring the officer's disbelief, Beckett leaves the police station, burdened by grief, as he stands at the very spot where his beloved April met her tragic end. In the depths of his sorrow, a mysterious woman materializes, unleashing a hail of bullets towards Beckett. Acting on instinct, he narrowly escapes her deadly aim, just as hope flickers in this dark moment. In a sudden turn of events, the officer who had previously conducted the interrogation emerged, offering a glimmer of hope. He assured our protagonist that the entire situation had been a regrettable misunderstanding, assuring him of his safety. However, the moment he stepped outside, a shocking act of betrayal unfolded. The officer, joined by a female accomplice, callously opened fire. Despite sustaining injuries, Beckett summoned his resilience and determination. Wounded but resilient, Beckett musters his strength, taking a daring leap from a height and fleeing on foot. His mind swirling with confusion and the burning question, why would anyone want him dead?
Driven by a desperate need for answers, Beckett finds temporary refuge inside a truck, where exhaustion finally claims him, and he drifts into a much-needed sleep. As dawn breaks, a group of men discovers Beckett in the truck, their grasp of the English language limited, but one among them holds the key. This compassionate soul tends to Beckett's injuries, preparing to provide him with a lifeline, a phone to seek the help he so desperately needs. However, in a cruel twist, the police arrive, demanding answers from the man, suspecting his encounter with Beckett. Despite his genuine denial and lack of knowledge, the police turn to violence, ransacking the surroundings in a relentless pursuit.
Beckett's escape was nothing short of a thrilling feat as he leaped through a window, leaving his pursuers in the dust. His heart pounding, he sprinted until he stumbled upon a bustling bee farm, where fate had him cross paths with an English-speaking family. Desperation drove him to request their phone, a lifeline to the U.S. Embassy. Eagerly, he poured out his tale of terror to the embassy, pleading for their aid. Though they pledged their support, a day's wait lay ahead. Undeterred, Beckett resolved to forge his own path to the embassy, expressing profound gratitude to the kind-hearted family before resuming his quest. After a tumultuous journey, Beckett eventually arrived at a train station that would transport him to the city housing the American Embassy, a destination that remained distantly distant. However, fate, it seemed, had other plans. As he boarded the train, an eagle-eyed officer detected his presence, quietly taking a seat beside him. Revelations tumbled forth as the officer disclosed his cunning scheme, tracing Beckett's steps through the very family who had offered him aid.
Coercion pried the truth from their lips. Beckett's intended destination, the train station. In a desperate bid for freedom, Beckett fought back, enduring a savage onslaught from the officer. False accusations branding him a criminal loomed, as the officer aimed to deliver him to the police station. In the clash of wills, Beckett summoned every ounce of strength, skillfully evading the officer's gunshot, which found an unintended target, the officer's own feet. In the chaos that ensued, Beckett seized the moment, fleeing the train, and in a race against time, seized another stranger's phone, his lifeline to the embassy once more.
Alas, fate's twisted hand held another challenge in store. Learning of Beckett's altercation with the officer, the American Embassy conveyed an ultimatum: surrender or forsake their aid, aware that yielding meant certain doom. Along his arduous journey, a mosaic of pictures adorning a wall captured his attention, featuring none other than the child who had been present in the house ravaged by his fateful crash. Engaging those responsible for the visual tapestry, Beckett delved into the child's predicament, unearthing a web of political intrigue. Startling revelations emerged. Demos, the child, was the nephew of Karas, a formidable right-wing politician vying for Greece's presidency. In a ploy to pressure Karas into withdrawal, the leftist faction had kidnapped Demos. The gravity of his situation crystallized in Beckett's mind as he realized he had unwittingly become entangled in a perilous political conspiracy. With urgency driving his actions, he shared his knowledge of the child's presence in the house with the harrowing crash. Imploring their assistance, he sought refuge in the protective wings of the American embassy. As Beckett prepared to join the others in the car, he spotted the policewoman who'd been chasing him getting closer. Acting quickly, he hid in the trunk of the car. When the policewoman asked about his whereabouts, they claimed they had seen him but said he had disappeared. They hurriedly drove away, leaving the scene behind. Later, they let Beckett out of the trunk, gave him a drink, and engaged in conversation.
They revealed their plan to join demonstrations supporting Karas, the person they believed could save Greece. During their journey, they witnessed a traffic accident with the police searching for answers. Taking advantage of the situation, Beckett quietly left the car, trying to avoid drawing attention from the police. He made his way to the subway and took a train towards the embassy. However, when he arrived, there was a heavy police presence. He tried to escape without being noticed, but an undercover officer saw him and attacked him with a knife. Luckily, Beckett managed to escape with the help of concerned onlookers. He desperately asked for assistance in reaching the American embassy, and kind-hearted individuals came to his aid, guiding him to safety. When he finally arrived at the embassy, he felt a sense of relief and security. They provided him with the necessary medical care he needed.
Officer Stephen approached him and delivered the devastating news that his wife's body had arrived, and preparations were being made to bring her back home. Beckett shared his entire story with Stephen, who informed him that undercover police were actively searching for him. Shooting the officer had made him a wanted man, pursued by both the police and the public. Stephen advised Beckett to surrender to the Greek police, assuring him protection from corrupt officers. The plan involved seeking refuge with a trusted police contact before returning to the embassy for further assistance. Stephen promised to accompany Beckett throughout the investigation. Initially, they set off in the car towards the police station, but Beckett's instincts warned him that something was amiss. His suspicions were confirmed when Stephen attempted to incapacitate him with a stun device. However, Beckett courageously fought back and escaped when their car collided with another vehicle. Filled with uncertainty, Beckett continued running without a clear plan or destination. Recalling a conversation with the individuals who had given him a ride earlier and mentioned the location of the demonstrations, he urgently sought them out. He informed them about the embassy agent's attempt on his life and the lack of assistance he had encountered. Just as Stephen arrived with the police, they cleverly managed to whisk Beckett away through a hidden entrance, keeping him safe from their grasp.
Stephen relentlessly pursued Beckett through the bustling crowd at the location of the demonstrations. Amongst the sea of people, Beckett's eyes locked onto Karas, standing tall amidst the gathering. Seeking refuge, Beckett descended into a sprawling shopping mall. However, Stephen's determination to end Beckett's life led him right to his hiding place. Just as despair began to grip Beckett, an unexpected ally emerged from the shadows. Seizing the opportunity, Beckett wielded a barbell and delivered a powerful blow to Stephen, catching him off guard. With Stephen momentarily stunned, he revealed a shocking twist. The individuals who had targeted Beckett had murdered Karas. Stephen disclosed the dark truth that Karas had fallen into debt with the mafia, and their vengeance took the form of kidnapping his nephew, a cruel ploy to force Karas out of the presidential race, assuring Beckett that his escape was now possible since Karas was no more. Stephen's words were met with skepticism. Unyielding, Beckett continued to strike Stephen until consciousness eluded him. Seizing the moment, Beckett claimed Stephen's gun and slipped away. Emerging from the shadows, Beckett's gaze locked onto the relentless policewoman who had pursued him from the beginning. A fierce pursuit ensued as he witnessed her and the officer who had targeted him getting into a car.
Determined to confront them, Beckett's bullets found their mark, first striking the officer's hand and then delivering a blow to the policewoman's leg. Although wounded himself, Beckett's tenacity allowed him to overpower her, rendering her unconscious. In the chaos, the officer took advantage of the opportunity and fled the scene. Undeterred, Beckett sought to pursue him, but his efforts proved futile. Fueled by determination, Beckett made a daring decision to leap from the building, landing atop the car. In an intense struggle, Beckett unleashed his wrath upon the officer, delivering relentless blows until he succumbed to unconsciousness. Just as victory seemed within reach, the woman who had aided Beckett before arrived, offering her support once again.
As the crowd closed in, a sound emerged from the car's trunk, and when it was opened, a startling revelation unfolded. The kidnapped baby, Demos, lay before them, safe but traumatized. The movie ends here.
Thank you for watching, and please subscribe Mango Recap for more video like this and help the channel grow.